Okay, so the Seattle Seahawks win 13-3, and they're now the number one seed in the NFC, and they also win the NFC West against the San Francisco 49ers. And this game really wasn't as close as the score would tell you. The Seattle Seahawks dominated San Francisco 49ers all game defensively, and if they just had a couple of things go their way offensively, this game would have been into the mid-20s, into the early 30s. There was just a couple offensive miscues. Early in the game, they're in the red zone. Sam Darnold misses Charbonnet on the flat, which ends up being a turnover on downs because they went for it on fourth down. They also missed two field goals, and they're at the middle of the field on a 3rd and 2, and that play, the Charbonnet and the handoff, gets blown up and ends up being a punt. Not to say that the offense didn't play great. They had some really good moments, such as that 3rd and 17 toss play to Kenneth Walker, which was very similar to a 3rd and long they had last week with the Carolina Panthers instead of, I believe it was Charbonnet who had the long run, and Sam Darnold with the clutch 24-yard play at the very end of the game to Cooper Kupp. But the main story for today is this Seattle Seahawks defense. They just dominated the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers only made it past the 30-yard line once in the entire game, and that was at the very end of the game, which ended up being a Brock Purdy interception. And they were 2 for 9 on 3rd down, and the 49ers could not throw anything deep. They only really had one deep play I can remember to George Kittle down the middle of the field. And really, besides that, they weren't getting anything in the middle like the 49ers like to do. They weren't really succeeding on the outside either. It was a lot of underneath throws and quick throws. Brock Purdy was averaging. The Seahawks defense is just so great at getting pressure to the quarterback with only bringing 4 guys to the field. And like if they're bringing 5 or 6 guys, I mean, it's an automatic sack or just a really intense pressure, man. And I also just love watching their defensive back play. I mean, their corners are so great at tackling and stopping the run, and along with their safeties as well. They do such a great job. Seattle only usually plays 2 linebackers a lot, and their safeties do a good job filling in. I mean, Mike McDaniel just runs such a complex and versatile defense that like they can do so many different things and bring in so many different guys on the field that they can do many personnel. It's not just the base 3-4 they run. They can do like a 3-2-6 or something like that. They can just do crazy stuff. And now for the Seahawks, they're going to be playing in a couple weeks. They beat really 2 good teams in the division the past couple of weeks, and they're going to have a lot of momentum, winning 7 games in a row. And getting that 1 seed is huge. I mean, they're going to have 2 home games potentially if they win the first one. And playing in Seattle is very tough. We know how intense the Seahawks fans are. Back when we saw those Legion of Boom teams in 2013, 2014, they can really change the way the game is played by how loud they can be. And I think right now I would pick Seattle to win the Super Bowl. I mean, they look like the best team in the NFC. If Sam Darnold can limit his turnovers in the playoffs and the offensive line can keep him up, I don't know if anybody's going to be able to beat Seattle with how lethal that defense is. And not to mention, Seattle has 2 explosive running backs who are just so phenomenal in Kenneth Walker and Jack Charbonnet. Also, of course, shout out to Jackson Smith and Njigba. He's obviously great too. As for the 49ers, yeah, it was a tough loss. I read a stat they were showing on Monday Night Football. Kyle Shanahan is 1 for 38, or I guess now 1 for 39. In games where he's trailing by 7+ points going into the 4th quarter, which for a coach that has had a lot of success, has been to 2 Super Bowls and many other NFC Championship games, it's kind of crazy that that's an actual statistic by him. But they're just really injured right now. I mean, they're losing guys on the field, and guys were coming in and out of the field from injuries during that game. And they didn't have Trent Williams, Ricky Pearsall today. Just like today, it's been an uphill climb all season long. And, you know, it's still been a very impressive season. They're 12-5. They can still very well be the 5th seed and will probably beat either Carolina or Tampa Bay because it looks like both those teams today were just trying not to make the playoffs or win that game. I still think the 49ers had a decent game today. I mean, their defense was pretty good against the pass, and they did create some pressure on Sam Darnold, made him uncomfortable. They made some good stops throughout the entire game. They got ran on pretty hard, but they're really thin at linebacker and on the defensive line. I mean, there was a high chance of that happening with how good Seattle's run game is. I think the hope for the 49ers is that hopefully Trent Williams can come back somehow or Ricky Pearsall can come back and play because he had a great game against the Bears. And he'll just give the wide receiver core more life because it's already a very weakened wide receiver room. I wouldn't put it past Kyle Shanahan or this 49ers team to make a playoff run. I mean, the fact that they're 12-5 right now is just unbelievable. But besides that, that's pretty much it. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching as always. Like and subscribe for more football content. Peace.